I am so excited to have you here, Emily, because I think we all need a facial, and I especially need a facial because I haven't seen anyone in so long, but I still want to feel good about myself. So I'm so thankful that you're here to show me all the ways to have an amazing at-home facial. Before we get started, I'd love for you to introduce yourself and kind of tell everyone where you're from and then how you got started in beauty.
I'm Emily Guerin. I'm based here in the UK, not far from Manchester. I've been doing beauty for about 17 years now. So from leaving school, I went to college and studied beauty therapy for 2 years. And then when I finished that at 18, I then went on to work in a salon, which I was working there whilst I was at college. So it was just like at the weekends, Fridays and Saturdays, and then I started there full time once I'd finished and qualified. I worked there for a couple of years, and then I then went on to work in the more like health spas. So it was a lot more pampering. So obviously the hotels where they had spas. So I worked there as a therapist. Only for probably about 6 months really, because it wasn't really something that I just didn't like the turnover of clients, because it was very much one in, one out, whereas I like to build a relationship with my clients and get to know them. So I did that for about 6 months, and then I'd moved location with my parents, so I needed to move somewhere nearer home. So I got a job in a local salon near where I lived, and I stayed there for about 8 years up until I had my first baby. And whilst I was there, I qualified as a beauty therapy teacher. So I went to university for 2 years, qualified as a teacher, and managed the salon where I was. And then after having my first baby, I decided that when I went back, things had changed. I wasn't as keen on it there then, and then I decided to get another job in another salon. So I then managed there, stayed there for 4 years, and on my journey of working in both these salons, I built lots of different qualifications and learned lots of different techniques, and then I decided then 2.5 years ago, after I had my second baby, she's nearly 4 now, but to start my own business, which is the best thing I ever did, and I love that. So I now specialise in skincare and semi-permanent makeup, like microblading and tattoo brows. So yes, that's a little bit about me, and obviously at the minute it works a bit different because I can't really do everything at this moment in time, but I'm hoping soon we will be able to get there. But I've got lots of exciting things anyway to go forward from, just to be a bit more diverse with work. But yeah, that's a bit about me really.
I love to learn kind of your history, because we've been talking for a little while now and I didn't know all of that.
Yeah, always learning. I love learning.
So what drew you to beauty therapy in the first place?
It's a bit of a funny story really, because I've always loved, from being a child, I've always loved painting my nails and makeup and messing around, and it wasn't, to be honest, it wasn't something that I always wanted to do. It wasn't something that I ever thought, this is going to be my career. Believe it or not, I wanted to be within the kind of interior design and garden design. That was what I wanted to do. And when it came to it, and I was going to college to do my A-levels and things, I just, about 2 or 3 months before, I just thought, I actually don't want to do that. And I just started looking into beauty a bit more, and I thought, no, this is more me, and just kind of took to it really like that. And yeah, I love it. I love my job.
What's like your favorite part about your job?
Meeting lots of people. I love meeting new people, and I think as well as a therapist, it's not just doing a treatment on on your client. It's building a relationship. Some of my clients I've had for like 14, 15 years, so they've known me from being from before I was married, before babies, everything. So they know everything about me. I know everything about them. So you build up that relationship with your client, and they trust you and they come to you not just for their treatments, but also for the whole experience of I think being pampered, being able to talk to you if they want to talk to you about things, and knowing that they can trust that that's not going to go anywhere else. And I think for me that's really important, that you do build that up, you know, when your clients trust you and they keep coming back to you. So yeah, and I've had, you know, especially during this COVID time, it's been, you know, the support I've had from my clients has been amazing, and that's what keeps me going, really, you know, to keep going, and hopefully, you know, soon we'll be back to some kind of normal.
Any day now.
Any day, we keep saying that, don't we? Any day now, it's going to be normal.
Well, but I love what you said about like building up your relationship with your clients, because I feel like when you have that trust, then you can be more comfortable when you are getting pampered. You don't have to feel self-conscious about anything. And then probably too, as like the person that's helping all of these people, you get to see like the cycles of their skin, or recommend different things and see like, oh, that's working, or let's try something else. And so I love the ability to really like personalize the experience for everyone.
Yeah, and everything like we do at the salon, everything is bespoke to, you know, that client, even down to like when we do brow tattoo and microblading, it's not kind of one brow fits all. It's whatever, you know, whatever that client is looking for. And obviously we assess their skin and their hair type, the colouring, and also like what their kind of lifestyle is, you know, and do they wear lots of makeup, do they not? Because obviously for somebody, if they don't wear lots of makeup, you don't want to tattoo something really dark on their face, you know. So, you know, and it's like that with skin, and, you know, you've got to assess on what you do, like as a busy mum, and you'll be the same, that you want something, a routine that's easy to do, not lots and lots of different products, and that takes half an hour to do in the morning. You want something quick, don't you?
Yes, definitely. Because if anything, all us mothers have maybe 5 minutes in the morning to get ready.
Yeah, maybe 6 if we're lucky.
Yeah, if it's like a good day.
Yeah. I know. That's why I'm just glad that headbands have come back in fashion now, because I can just scrape my hair back and shove my headband.
I know. I need to get one of your cute headbands though, because I always see your amazing headbands on your Insta stories, and I'm like, I have a black headband. That's it. I need to.
I just keep buying them. Yeah. Get some headbands, yeah.
Well, today we're going to be using. You sent me 5 amazing products, and so do you want to talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, so Mariko, the products that I've sent you, these are all plant-based products. Some of them are now, I know, like vegan based, so a lot of them are all derived from the plant extract. So that they are suited for pretty much all skin types. It's not really skin that you can't use it, because they are gentle, and they also are aromatherapy based. So they all smell amazing. I don't know if you've had a little smell of them, but they all, you know, the smells and that are really, really calming and relaxing. So when you do have a facial with them, you do feel quite relaxed after them because of the essential oils in them. I love the brand. I've been using it for probably about 6 years now. So yeah, it's a lovely brand. All my clients love it. The facials are amazing. So obviously during lockdown, my clients couldn't get a facial, so that was why I did my little DIY stay-at-home facial, just so that, you know, you could kind of, I know it's not fully the same experience, but it's still nice to be able to, you know, to do that pampering, I think, on yourself, you know, and take some time to wind down, have a bath and do a little facial. So yeah, no, that was kind of a thought, something then that you can do yourself at home then, isn't it?
Yes, I love that. Okay, so what do we need to do first?
So so what I'll do is I'll go through the steps of a facial. So, you know, it's generally like, this is also something good you can use in your everyday skincare as well, with obviously things like exfoliators when we come to them, and the mask is something that you would just do a couple of times a week, so you wouldn't do that obviously every day. Obviously I've just got full-size products in comparison to you, but so our first one, if you have got any eye makeup on, would be remove your eye makeup. So you would use this on just your you know, just onto your cotton pads. So I always use just damp cotton pads. You can use your normal cleanser or an eye makeup remover, whatever you've got. So if you've got eye makeup on, I know we've taken ours off now, but you would just use some damp cotton pads, your eye makeup remover, and you just apply these onto your eye like this, and you'd usually just massage around a little bit. And then I just usually just gently, wipe away like that. So you just do that for your eye makeup maybe a couple of times, depending on obviously how much you tend to wear. And then this first step then would be your cleanser. So if you want to get which is your fresh cleansing cream, so that's on yours. Mine's just a big one. So you probably need, about this amount of your cleanser. Just distribute it into your hands. Now the way I do it, just so you can obviously get it across to cover all of your face, is sometimes I just pat it on, so you can just pat it onto your skin all over, and then always from your neck, you're always going to circle upwards. So circles, large circles, like all over so if you work kind of like in stages, up your skin. So always, if you was doing up your neck, you would kind of work your way up your neck. And if you feel like you need a little bit more cleanser, just take a little bit if it feels like it's just drying out a little bit.
Okay. This is very exciting for me.
So you're going to massage all over your skin. And when I go up the nose, I always go up to the corners of the nose. And if you go up to your forehead, and you can just circle around your eyes.
I feel like this is like the very fancy thing they do when you get a facial.
Yeah, like little circles across your forehead, around your temples, and you just keep working away over just for like a minute or two, and just feeling like you're really breaking down that makeup all over your skin. And it feels quite nice to go around the circle of your eyes as well, because especially like over the day, it just feels like it just gets rid of any tension around you. But what this is doing is it's getting rid of all your makeup, all the any dirt that's built up over the day, pollution, etc. So that's just getting rid of all that. Then you're going to have you got some little mitts or some kind of flannel or some warm water?
I do. Yeah.
So you're just gonna rinse off now with some warm water. I'm just using some little mitts because this is just what I would use.
Yes, me too.
Just showing you. So, and then I just would start on the nose and just kind of gently just wipe away. And always, if you can, just try and always work upwards. Because of gravity, we always want to work upwards. We don't want to be pulling our skin down.
Yes.
So gently.
We're always trying to work against gravity.
Yeah, we're always trying to pull it up. So once we've cleansed all that off and you feel like you've got it off, I always do a second cleanse, because the second cleanse is just a double cleanse. I always do this at night. So in the morning, when you get up out of bed, you would just do the first cleanse like that, just to get rid of just because even though you've cleansed your skin at night, we still need to cleanse when you get up in the morning. So when you feel like you've got that off, you just take your cleanser again, and you probably don't need as much, just a little bit more, and we're going to do like a second cleanse of just like what we did the first time.
Okay.
So
I already feel better.
Apply it to the skin, and even just doing like a really deep cleanse, it does make your skin feel really fresh. I always, no matter what time it is at night, I do this every night, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
What are you doing up at 2 o'clock in the morning?
I'm a night owl. I'm always up late.
Me too.
So just cleanse all over your skin. I mean, obviously this depends as well on how much makeup you do use, but I always think it's good just to do a second cleanse, because it just feels like it gets rid of any extra little bits that you'll leave on residue on the skin. So once we've done that, we're then going to cleanse it off again with our cloth.
This cleanser does smell really good.
Oh, it smells so lovely, doesn't it? Really fresh. And it's a great cleanser as well if you're in the shower, because you can just keep it in the shower and you can use that in the shower. It's good to cleanse for that.
Now, what temperature should the water be that you use?
Probably just nice, just lukewarm, not too hot, because we don't want to stimulate too much of the skin, but just nice and warm, really, just lukewarm. You don't want it too cold because you want to make sure it cleanses everything off, really. So yeah, so once we've done all that, you've got all your cleanser off, we are then going to use your toner. So cotton pads, so we're just going to damp those. So if you've got a little bit of water, when you can just pop them into the water, just pop them into the little bowl we've got and just take a little, because they're just easy to use when they're damp.
Okay.
And then you're just going to pop a little bit of your toner. So with your toner, what you're going to do then is you're just going to use your cotton pads and you're just going to wipe up your neck, and then you're just going to just little all over. And I always just bring it down, and I just always just stop it like there and just kind of bring it down and stop at your temples. It's just nice. And what the toner does is that removes any like excess cleanser, or because sometimes you'll find that even though you cleanse your skin twice, there still might be a little bit of excess cleanser or makeup on the skin. So this just gets rid of this. It just helps to balance the skin. It's good for purifying. And then when you've done this, I just take a little tissue. So this is like something obviously that we're doing a facial. You don't have to do this on everyone, but I usually just get my tissue, and I just normally just fold it into a and dots. So this just gets rid of if there's any excess toner, that's just left on the skin. It just blocks it a little bit and just removes that.
Okay.
So if you was doing your general skincare routine, you wouldn't necessarily need to block the skin like in the morning and that. But if you're just doing a little facial where we're going to be applying different products, and that the tone is good for me, like kind of it just resets in between. So now you're going to take your exfoliator. So you've got your Radiant Gentle Scrub. I love this scrub. So this has got pomegranate seeds in this.
Ooh.
So take a little bit of your exfoliator. So probably about that much.
Okay. Got it.
I usually color. Oh, I love it. It smells amazing. Just kind of distribute it between the tips of both hands, and then again you're just going to pat this on all over the skin. Avoid around your eye, so just go like the contour of your eye, and then just using again like with the cleanser, you're just going to do nice circles all over the skin. Make sure you get right across like your chin area here. I usually use like my fingers. You can go up your nose. Just keep going all over the skin. So the little pomegranate seeds that you can feel inside, these just help to break up the dead skin cells on the surface. It's really important that we exfoliate at least twice a week. So if your skin is really dry, and especially for you where you live, your climate will be very dry, won't it?
Yes.
So it'd be good, 2 or 3 times a week, and this is just getting rid of the dead skin cells, because what happens is if we don't get rid of these skin cells, like your moisturiser, it ends up just feeding these dead skin cells and not actually working properly on your skin.
Wow.
So we want to just get rid of all of them.
Yeah, go away.
It's kind of like having that. I always explain to my clients, it's like having like burnt toast.
Oh.
So it has like a layer, doesn't it? So on the top, so if you go to put your butter on, it kind of doesn't absorb the same, whereas if it's slightly undercooked, it just soaks into the bread, doesn't it, a lot more easily. So it's a little bit like with exfoliating. So if you've got a build up of dead skin cells over weeks and weeks, and then your moisturiser just feeds those dead skin cells, it doesn't actually go into your skin properly. So we need to get rid of that a couple of times a week, and then your moisturiser works better. So when you've done that for, I usually say, a good 5 minutes exfoliating, you're then going to rinse off again.
I have to say the scent or the aroma of that exfoliator is exactly like how I would imagine a facial business to smell like. It's like that's the most amazing scent.
And that's the nice thing about when you do have, obviously when you go to the salon and have facials, that all the products that we sell are all the products that we use in it. So it is almost like, so you're just gonna cleanse back over, just wipe off all the exfoliator. You might have to do it a couple of times with more and more, just to get rid of everything. But yeah, that's like the beauty of when you do obviously go to the salon. I love the smells and that feeling of just that when you've had a facial, how clean your skin feels, and you just feel like renewed, don't you, when you had a facial?
Totally.
I think that's why it's nice if you have got the products or some of them that you can kind of replicate that at home yourself. So it's almost like you are giving yourself a little mini facial every day. So when you've cleansed all that off, you would then, with your toner again, you'd just wipe over, and this just removes any little excess bits of exfoliator on the skin. So this is exactly kind of what we would do in the salon, the procedure, how we would do our facial. But obviously the next step what we would do in the salon would be like facial massage, which it's a bit harder to do on yourself. There's no reason why you can't. You can always blend some essential oils if you wanted, or you can buy like pre-blended facial oils, and you can do that a little bit yourself afterwards. So when you've toned again, you're just going to get your tissue and just blot again any little bits of excess off the skin. Yeah, so then the next step would be massage now if you was in the salon, but there's no reason why you can't, like I said, do this yourself a little bit at home. And if you do, I just always say, if you're going to do it yourself at home massage, just always using upwards. You could always do a little bit up on your neck. You could do some little massages and see around your eye. And you can also buy, I don't know if you've seen, they're called like a jade roller.
Yes.
So you can use those for massage as well yourself. They're quite easy for you to use at home, because obviously it's quite hard to manually do a massage on yourself and do everything like you would have done from your therapist. But a jade roller is really good for also stimulating the blood flow, which is what we want to renew the cells, bring in fresh blood. It's good to the skin because it helps with the collagen and elastin, and that also helps your skin glow. But yeah, the jade rollers are really good. There's lots of different ones on the market, and jade stones, and because you're only using a roller, they're quite easy for you to roll up, and you can also roll up the face, just to give you a bit of drainage, around the eye area as well. But yeah, so they're always good for you to have a little go yourself. So then you would now, so you do this maybe once, twice a week. This is when you're going to get your face mask. So you've got an one. So I've just got a creamier one, just so I could show you. Yours is like slightly iridescent. So in yours, it's got like mother of pearl in it, so it's got the light reflecting. It is an anti-aging one, the one you've got. I've got the kind of sister mask to the one you've got, the New Youth one, so that's also a anti-aging one as well. So mine's a little bit creamy, so I'm just gonna pop probably about 50 pence piece worth into, so probably.
Okay. Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like really, yeah, I love it, and it smells amazing. It's really good this as well, before you go out on like a night out, I always think it gives you that bit of a if we can remember what those were, you can just apply it on, and it's just like before you, a bit of a booster for your skin. So in salon, obviously we'd put this on with a brush. I do use a brush when I'm at home, but I was just going to show you with your fingers. So all you're going to do is just apply always the neck as well, because a lot of people forget your neck. So in salon, I always apply it to like the whole of this area as well, your décolleté, because that is exposed quite a lot, and people tend to forget a little bit about that, really, you know. So it's really important, obviously, to you know, to make sure you do protect and cover every area that is exposed, you know. And likewise, when you put in the daytime, always make sure you wear an SPF on your skin to protect you from the sun and UVA rays, UVB rays, because they're what causes causes to have, you know, aging process, skin cancers, etc. It's really important that you do wear your SPF as well.
Is there a minimum SPF that you would recommend?
I always say on the face, really. I always recommend 40 up, really. Oh. I mean, there's lots of different ones on the market, and I tend to use one maybe that's just for your face because it's a little bit thinner. You don't want to be using something for the body that's really thick, that's going to plug the pores up. So once you put your mask on, I would normally, if I was at home or whatever, obviously in the salon, you'd get a nice hand and arm massage and you would have your cotton pads. But I still, when I'm, you know, I always just pop my cotton pads on, just damp, cool ones or whatever, and just go and have a little lie down, or if you're in the bath, get in the bath with it on. You can have a relax for probably about 15 minutes, I'd say, to 20 minutes. And you'll find with the mask that you've got on, you'll feel it absorb into the skin quite a bit. And obviously if your skin is a little bit dehydrated, then it will absorb that a little bit more, which is good. So yeah, so you'd leave that on for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'd cleanse that off again with your flannel.
I really like it though. I mean, I feel like it feels really good. I feel it absorbing, and I feel like hydrated.
Yeah, and it's really like illuminating on the skin as well, that one, because it's got the mother of pearl extract in it, and that's what you can see like glistening.
It's just my natural glow.
It's your natural glow. You've got lovely glowy skin anyway.
Aww.
That's because you're always feeding it with goodness.
Well, plus I really enjoyed your toast analogy. I was like, if you relate it to food, I'm gonna get it. Like, I'll understand.
Always for food. If you explain things simply, that's what people want. People want to explain simply. So just cleanse off again.
Well, whenever we do calls, I always look at your skin, and your skin always looks incredible. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, what did she do?
Thank you. It has its moments, and you know, I've always had to, you know, I've worked on my skin a lot over the years, and as I was, you know, especially when I was a teenager, I suffered very bad with acne. It was something that I always suffered with, and I do get the odd little breakouts especially when I'm stressed and things like that, or diet. That's why diet is so important with your skin as well, which you'll know that it is. You know, if we feed it well, our skin is a lot better and hydrated. But yeah, you know, I think you've always got to work on your skin, and sometimes you find with some products you can use the same product for years, and we do recommend that you do change your products, like especially like your moisturiser, probably like every third tube or pot, whatever you're using. It just kind of wakes the skin up again rather than just using the same. It's a bit like with shampoo, etc. You always want to just switch it up a little bit. So it's like anything, I suppose, with your diet. If you just eat the same thing morning, noon and night every single day, your body will get used to it, doesn't it? And you need to change it about. So when you've removed that mask, you just do one last little tone on your skin, and then put our moisturiser on. So yeah, so you just wipe back over again, all over, just removing any little excess, and then just one last little blot, just if there's any left.
I feel like I've already learned so much from you.
Good. And then you would, if you do use an eye cream, you would then, this is when you'd put your eye cream on first. So we'd use like a rice grain size for both eyes, and you would just apply that onto the contour of your eye. So we never put eye cream. A lot of people think you put eye cream all over your eye because it's called an eye cream. But you do just use this onto the contour of your eye, and this absorbs in, because if we put too much onto the eye area, it then kind of almost fills the eye up, and it can make your eye look puffy and obviously have the opposite effect to what we want. So we just want to kind of, you'll be able to, if you imagine where your eye socket would be, and just on that area. And I always use like your ring fingers. not a lot of pressure because it's so delicate, the skin around the eye area. It's like one of the thinnest part. It's like your eyes and your lips, so we just want to look after that, and that's why it's important that you do make sure you wear your SPF, and you can buy SPF just for like your eye area as well, because Marie Claire do an eye cream that is just specifically for sensitive areas like your eyelids, your lips, and like corners of your nose, because they tend to be the always ones that burn quite a bit, and we don't always look after them in the sun. And obviously your eyes, we want to protect them because that's the areas that show the lines of wrinkles the most. But yeah, sometimes I always think, though, they're just laughter lines out there.
Yeah, it means good things. It means we're smiling.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So then you're going to take your moisturiser. So you've got the wrinkle smoothing, which is an anti-aging one for that's like your first signs of aging, and then you've got also the light moisturiser. So probably you might find that the wrinkle smoothing is a little bit thicker in texture, so it depends on how your skin feels or whether you want something anti-aging, or they're both lovely moisturisers. One's just a little bit slightly different. So probably this much moisturiser.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to use the wrinkle smoothing cream.
Yeah, I love that. And then you're just going to then apply all over the skin. And if you do, some people use serums to help boost the skin a little bit more. You'd put them on once you've applied your eye cream. You then put your serum on, and then you put your moisturiser. And then obviously at night time, you're just going to put your moisturiser on before bed. And then whereas in the daytime, once you put your moisturiser on, then you would then put your SPF over the top. And always make sure when you're moisturising that you do make sure you cover all of your neck, because a lot of people kind of forget about the neck, and it's really important because that is it's exposed a lot, and that is where age and etc. You can look after your face, but then if you don't, you've almost got that area then that does show the aging process, and you can get pigmentation, etc. So it's really important, and that's why we always say never to spray perfume on your neck and your décolleté area, because with perfumes have usually alcohols in. When you're out and you've sprayed it all on you and then you go into the sun, it's just obviously just burning your skin. So yeah, so it's always just spray it on your clothes or on your wrists and avoid that. But yeah, there we go, our little DIY stay-at-home facial.
I feel amazing. Like, even though this was like a quick little at-home facial and I had to, no one could massage my face except me, I just feel like
your husband to do that.
Get the kids to do it.
Teach them.
I just feel so moist. I feel so hydrated, so moisturized.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to have such a good skincare routine, because you can every day you can cleanse, tone and moisturize. You would notice such a difference from just doing that on a daily basis, morning and night. And then I once, twice a week, I always think midweek, do an exfoliation and a mask, and then again at the weekend when you've got a bit more time, you can spend a bit more time doing that, and you'll notice such a difference just doing that, exfoliating and using a mask, because then it just treats the skin, especially if you don't have time to go to a salon, or some people don't have the money to have facials every month. But I always think at least if you're having a good skincare routine, then you can adapt and do your own routine at home, really. And and that's why for me it's important of teaching people how to look after the skin, because a lot of people don't understand things about the skin and they don't know what to use or what to use when and how to use them, because it's a bit of a minefield, isn't it, out there, skincare, and there's so much. I always say is don't use facial wipes. Facial wipes are so bad for the skin.
But they I think it was a few years ago that they became really popular and everyone seemed to be using them.
And I think as well, it was just, they're really good for this, they're really good for that, but they just strip the skin and they end up breaking down that barrier, so the skin then becomes more exposed to to things like, you know, external factors and pollution, because it breaks down that protective barrier really of your skin by stripping them. And a lot of the time as well, they don't actually remove makeup in a good way, because you're just kind of wiping it over, smearing it about really. You're not actually, you know, I mean, we've all been there. I've had a phase of buying really expensive facial wipes because they're this or they're that, and they don't really, you know, remove. And you know, you've got lots of different, there's cleansing creams and milks and gels, and it's just finding that one that's right for you really, depending on your lifestyle and also your how much probably like, you know, really like makeup you wear. I always find like oil-based ones are quite good, in gels if you wear a lot of makeup, because it breaks down the makeup a little bit more. But I quite like the cream ones because they're good to just use in the shower, you know, like in the morning, quick freshen up when you're just woken up. But yeah,
this is amazing. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for teaching me. I mean, I feel like honestly I've learned so many things, like the double cleansing. That was a big one. I wanted to actually ask you about that because I heard someone saying about the double cleanse, and I was like, should I have been double cleansing this whole time? So I'm glad that you answered that. And then the toners and the eye cream was another one, because I'm going to have to change the whole way I do eye cream, because I didn't know I'm not supposed to put it like all the way up to my eyes. So
you only need like a rice grain size for each, you know, like for each eye. You don't need lots of eye cream. And like I say, if you just pop it on with your ring fingers and just literally just tapping it around, just doing a few like little circles and that. But yeah, it just stops you then. You don't want to put too much on products. It just ends up making your eyes puffy and almost having the adverse effect that we want from an eye cream.
And no one wants that, especially now.
Nope. Definitely not.
So if there's one last thing that you wanted to leave everyone with, maybe in terms of looking after their skin or their skincare routine or whatever might be speaking to you right now, what would be that last piece of advice you'd want to share with everyone?
I would just say that, you know, good skincare routine every day, you know, your skin will dramatically change by doing that, and just do whatever's right for you. Use the products that are right for you. Don't feel like you've got to go out and buy a cleanser, a toner, a moisturiser, everything in one go to get yourself started. I always say start with, you know, a good cleanser and a moisturiser, and if you do that for, you know, a few weeks, and then slowly introduce like a exfoliator and your masks and you know, serums, etc. Just always start off simple and don't overwhelm yourself with products, because it can be quite overwhelming. So, you know, just start off, you know, slowly and just build up, and make, you know, and get a consultation, you know, a skin consultation, and you know, from a therapist who knows what they're talking about, that can advise you on the right products for your skin, the right cleansers, and how it fits in with your lifestyle. And this is something I always do with my clients, and you know, I always do a full skin consultation. And you know, the way of the world now is something that I can offer online, which is really good. So you know, this is something that I want to be able to offer to my clients, to they can actually talk to me and ask properly about products, and yeah, and for me going forward, I think also, you know, I'm looking at doing some monthly Zooms for my business on products, on skincare, on a bit of what anybody wants to talk about, and inviting like groups of people to be able to interact and talk about what they do, and learn new skills, a little bit like what me and you've done now, but doing it for a bit of a wider audience, and they can learn from different ways in the beauty industry, and just general every day, you know, of how they can replicate that at home as well for themselves.
I love that idea. That's so good.
Because everyone wants to make themselves feel good, don't they? And I think, you know, if you can do that, especially now in this current situation, I think, you know, I've learnt a lot, and I think in this last 4 months, I think when you feel good about yourself and have a good mindset, it just makes you feel better, doesn't it?
It really does. It helps you to completely change your perspective on what's going on and kind of look at things with a more optimistic light.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And I think if you feel good within yourself, that naturally then comes across to other people, doesn't it? And that's like with my work, that's what, you know, I love doing the most, is that making people, I think, feel their best. Is, you know, I love when somebody comes for a treatment or comes for something, or even just these last few weeks being back at work doing limited services, you know, when clients are like, oh, I've realised how much I've missed this, and coming for my chats and coming for my pampering, and I feel human again. And you know, if people have been used to having things done every 2 weeks for how many years, in the last 4 months they've not been able to get anything, it's hard, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. And I think it's like the best thing you can do for other people is to help them to feel good about themselves. So how do people get in contact with you to get a virtual skin consultation?
So they can contact me like via my social media, either on Instagram or Facebook, Emily Guerin Beauty, and also my website should be up and running very soon. So once that's up and running, I will have you'll be able to book directly through that, or Facebook or Instagram. You'll be able to book a consultation online for yourself, and then it'll just be done via Zoom like this, and then obviously you can chat properly about that. And I think for a lot of people it's easier, then they can just do it from home without having to come up to the salon for a consultation and then having to come for another treatment, or you know, and then on the day when they come for the treatment or whatever, we always assess. But all my products are going to be going on a shop on the website, so people will be able to purchase things on there, or there'll be links to places where you could possibly buy it if you're not in the UK. So so there'll be all different things that I'm still getting there with working on all that. It just takes so much time, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's going to be so worth it, because you'll be able to reach so many more people, and everyone can see your amazingness and get all the products and get your consultations and just feel better about themselves. That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yay! Thank you so much for making me beautiful.
Now you need to go and have a pamper and lie down.